Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Meena every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do share it with your friends and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. Welcome, Jerry.
Good evening to all of viewers once again.
Yeah. The good news, friends, is that Arnab Goswami wished all our channel viewers as he celebrates his anniversary and exposes the kind of witch hunt he underwent in the hands of politicians, police, and mainstream media. For those who missed it, here is a video excerpt. Perhaps, Jaydev, you could just share it with the audience.
Yeah.
You need to play it with the sound.
The people who are against you, our karma plays a very big role. Meena Das Narayan says, congrats Swarnab, when you went through this turmoil, all my viewers on my YouTube channel were praying for your safety. And this was a small section of the public. Meena, thank you, Meena. Thank you, Meena. Pinky Verma.
Yeah. Yeah. So, friends, so that's fun, good news, because the more the people who are fighting for the truth join hands, the better for society. They can show a mirror to false media, big media. Yeah, that always build fake stories. As we speak, NCB has arrested a drug peddler in Mumbai following questioning. Drugs on the drugs on cruise case, taking the number of total arrests to 19. So, Jaydev, you have something about NCB Panchnama and what it says?
Yeah, I believe there's some voice echo.
Okay, I've removed the earphone. So
Hello, is my voice? Yeah, just one second.
okay, let me just read it again, friends. I was on mute. Sorry about that. See, as we speak, NCB has arrested a drug peddler in Mumbai following questioning in the drugs on cruise case, taking the number of total arrests in the case to 19. NCB Panchnama says that Aryan Khan admitted to consuming charas. Arbaz had it in his shoes. So Aryan Khan admitted that the charas seized from Arbaz was going to be consumed by them on board the Mumbai Goa cruise ship. So what's this that Manish Shinde is talking about? In a massive development, the NCB has alleged in its Panchnama that Shah Rukh Khan's son, Aryan Khan, wanted to consume charas, and its friends and co accused Arbaz, a merchant, had brought it to the Cordelia cruise ship for that purpose. Media has now accessed exclusive details of the NCB Panchnama on Saturday, which has mentioned that during the search operations on October 3rd, Arbaz merchant admitted that the quantity seized from his possession was going to be used for smoking by Aryan and him. After the NCB confronted Aryan Khan based on Arbaz's statement, he also admitted that the charas was going to be consumed by both of them on board the Mumbai Goa cruise ship. Panchnama also claims Ashish Ranjan Prasad asked them that whether they accepted, and then Arbaz, a merchant, said that he is having charas hidden inside his shoes. The charas in Ziploc pouch was taken out from shoes voluntarily by Arbaz, a merchant, and was handed over to IO Ashish Ranjan Prasad. The Ziploc pouch was having a black, sticky substance. It was tested with DD kit, which was confirmed as charas. Arbaz merchant admits that he consumed charas with Aryan Khan, Shah Rukh's son, and they're going inside Cordelia cruise for a blast. On asking, Aryan, Shah Rukh Khan's son, admitted he also consumed charas, and the charas was meant for smoking during the cruise journey. In the Aryan case, NCB says that all accused are treated equally, and thus he shuts down Nawab Malik's, whatever rumors that they're spreading. NCB on Saturday held a press conference on the Mumbai cruise drug bust case and categorically stated that the agency involved witnesses in all operations. NCB on Saturday held a crucial press conference on the Mumbai cruise drug bust case and categorically stated that the agency involved witnesses in all their operations and that all procedures were followed during their raid. During the briefing, NCB Deputy Director General Gyaneshwar Singh and Zonal Director Samir Wankade said that they were following an unbiased course of action and intercepted people based on arrests. The NCB also called allegations leveled by NCP leader Nawab Malik against the anti-drug agency baseless. Allegations made against NCB are frivolous. NCB's procedure is legally transparent and unbiased. All accused are treated equally, NCB said. A total of 9 independent witnesses were involved in the operation, and Manish Banushali and KP Goswami were among them. None of the independent witnesses, including these 2 persons, were known to NCB prior to the operation, Gyaneshwar Singh and Wankade said. Meanwhile, Aryan Khan's driver, employed by SRK, who must be also SRK's driver, was questioned by NCB in Mumbai cruise ship drugs bust case. The NCB is questioning the driver at the moment, Shah Rukh Khan's driver, and Aryan's driver, who is currently lodged at Aryan is currently lodged at Arthur Road Jail for his alleged involvement in the rave party that was busted on board the Cordelia cruise ship last week. Sources say that SRK employee is under scanner, as the NCP sleuths are looking to establish the source of the drugs seized from the cruise ship and how they were procured. Also, he had dropped Aryan at the cruise terminal the night of his departure from Mumbai to Goa. The NCB's questioning will be on these lines. Aryan, this is what the sources have revealed. Aryan was sent to the Arthur Road prison on Friday after a court denied him bail. Along with him, 5 other men arrested in the case, 2 were sent to the same jail, while 2 women accused, including Munmun Dhamecha, were sent to Baikula women's prison. Aryan was arrested by an undercover NCB team on Sunday following a raid on a Goa-bound cruise ship. On Thursday, the court had rejected the NCB's request for further custody of Aryan and 7 others and instead sent them to a 14-day judicial custody. Incidentally, the court's order rejecting bail to Aryan came on his mother Gauri Khan's 51st birthday. Now, film producer, this is what they term him, but we all know what Imtiaz Khatri stands for. Imtiaz Khatri was raided in Mumbai in drugs on cruise case. They call him a filmmaker, but we know that he is much more than that. Imtiaz Khan's name came up during the interrogation of Achit Kumar, who was arrested earlier this week for possession of drugs. Imtiaz Khan earlier was called a businessman, then he was called a person who arranged sports events. So the designation changes as per the PR or the fake media that churns out reams in praise of these people. Imtiaz Khan's home and office in Mumbai, Bandra, were raided by the NCB in connection with the drugs on cruise case, in which Bollywood actor Shah Rukh Khan's son, Aryan, is one of the accused. Khatri's name came up during the interrogation of Achit Kumar, who was arrested earlier this week from suburban Powai after a small quantity of hydroponic weed, alias multi-strain cannabis, was seized from his possession. DRI seizes 25 in another very important haul. DRI seizes 25 kilo heroin worth rupees 125 crores concealed in a container at Jawaharlal Nehru port in Mumbai, and they arrest the businessman. Now, in the case of Imtiaz Khan, everybody knows, Imtiaz Khatri, everybody knows that he has very close links with everybody in Bollywood. Everybody from actors to actresses. And as you remember very clearly, he was seen in the video where he threatened SSR and took him forcefully in a car. And if we go as per what Sushant said in his diary, he was also beaten up. If that was the same, during that same period. So whether he was beaten up at that time could be a possibility, because Sushant had fear in his eyes. Now, in this case, this huge haul at the Jawaharlal Nehru port happened on October 4th on the basis of intelligence inputs. The DRI had detained the container which was said to be carrying a consignment of groundnut oil, where a packet of heroin was found. The DRI seized more than 25 kilos of heroin from a container during a raid at Navi Mumbai's Nhava Sheva port. The Mumbai zonal unit of DRI, which carried out the raid, also arrested a businessman named Jayesh Sanghvi in connection with the seizure of heroin, which is worth rupees 125 crores in the international market. The 62-year-old businessman was arrested on Wednesday after a probe confirmed that the container that had arrived from Iran at Nhava Sheva in Navi Mumbai was carrying a consignment of narcotics also. Sanghvi has booked under various sections of NDPS Act 1985. The DRI produced the accused before the court, where the court sent him to DRI custody till October 11th for questioning. DRI had sought his custody as the agency doubts that Sanghvi is part of a drug cartel and he might have smuggled similar consignments in the past also. Meanwhile, brief news is that about Lakhimpur Kheri violence is that Union Minister Ajay Mishra's son, Ashish Mishra, has been detained by the police on Saturday for his alleged involvement in the October 3 Lakhimpur Kheri incident. Now, in another brilliant move by Yogi Adityanath, Yogi Adityanath now seeks feedback on performance of MLAs, BJP plans, social seminars. Ahead of the UP Assembly election, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is seeking feedback about the performance of the BJP MLAs from party functionaries. Top sources, in another case, top sources have informed the media that at this stage, there is no proposal to bring former IAS officer Shah Faisal back into the government. This comes amid inputs that Faisal could be appointed as an advisor to the Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor. However, multiple talks have taken place with Shah Faisal, who has shared some concerns about his safety. This is the latest in an evolving situation in Jammu and Kashmir, which has witnessed gruesome violence against minorities with a spate of murders of innocent civilians by terrorists. In fact, Union Home Minister Amit Shah on October 7th called for a high-level security meeting to discuss the overall security situation with a prime focus on Jammu and Kashmir. The Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha also met with the Home Minister in New Delhi, and over the last few weeks and days, major rejigs have also taken place in the Jammu and Kashmir police. So, friends, that's most of the news. I'm just waiting for Suzanne Bernert to join me. So she'll be joining in a few minutes. So just give me a few minutes, please. Okay. While we wait for her to join, let me just take a few comments of yours. Yeah. Vishali says, how feasible is it to change the script and CM family playing the characters? It's a game that she's talking about. Good. Yeah, let's see some other comments. Megha Acharya, yes, I saw it last night. Was very happy hearing from Arnab, thanking me. Welcome, Megha. Yeah, we were so scared and praying for Arnab. Good to know prayers were answered and he's aware. Thank you, Anuradha. Those who speak for the truth must stand by each other. Absolutely. Yes, Suzanne is joining us. So let me just add her. Welcome, Suzanne.
Hi.
Yeah. How are you?
Fine.
Yeah. Okay. Friends, today we have the lovely Suzanne with us. Suzanne is a German-born lady who played the role of the former Congress President Sonia Gandhi in The Accidental Prime Minister, and also the role of Queen Helena in the popular TV series Chakravartin Ashoka Samrat. She is both a trained ballet dancer as well as a Lavani dancer. She can speak in 3 Indian languages, which is Hindi, Marathi, and Bengali. She married Akhil Mishra in 2009, and she has worked with him in some serials as well and movies. Welcome, Suzanne. Yeah.
Sorry.
Welcome.
Kicked me out.
Yeah. No, I think sometimes it happens, without us pressing any button. Sometimes these things play up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was actually trying to find an option to make you a little bit louder because when I checked my YouTube, you were very audible. And now sitting here, I can hardly hear you. So I was wondering if there's some
Just a second.
adjustment that I need to do. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Am I okay now?
Very soft.
Okay.
And I have a headset, but people keep on telling me in the headset the mic is not working. So I don't want to
Okay, fine. That's absolutely okay. We'll just have a very candid chat, Suzanne. Friends, let me tell you. See, she is one of the proud ladies who wore a bindi on International Bindi Day, and that's how I really got interested and said, let's find out who this lovely lady is. And that's how Suzanne, I went to your handle and checked you out. So I'm very glad that you came live today, and from our viewers, all of us are happy to see you here. Now, Suzanne, could you just, it's a candid chat, so could you just tell us about your journey and your interest in acting? Because you come from Switzerland or from the border?
Germany. One second.
Germany, yes. Okay.
I just shut the window.
Yeah.
I'm not understanding what's happening today because usually I never had an audio problem in any of the live chats. This is the first time that I hear everything so softly. And I was on your channel before to see if everything started on time. And there I could hear you perfectly. I don't know what this is. Okay, Tika. So I was born in Germany and I grew up in Germany and there was no relation to India at all. And at that time, I didn't even know it existed. As a child, you're not aware. The world is big. And I started acting for 3 years in Berlin, in Germany. And uske baad छुट्टी ली दुबई में. And वहाँ किस्मत वाली बात मैंने किसी को मिला और इसकी माध्यम से यहाँ पहुँच गई. I had my first show called अस्तित्व एक प्रेम कहानी. That was by Ajay Sinha. And that had Nikia Nejavalia and Harsh Chaya and Varun Badola and a lot of other fabulous actors. And that is show se mera shuruaat.
Before that, Suzanne, could you tell us about your childhood? I mean, how you got interested in acting?
I don't know. My parents tell me that bachpan se I was just dressing up, dancing, having an interest in art, in classical music, and they didn't really understand from where it came. I mean, my mom was doing amateur theater. My grandmother could sing very well. I can't sing. And I
But
don't
you
know.
took to
It
ballet.
was just like from childhood onwards, I was puppet theater and dressing up and trying to be somebody else.
And you also took to ballet?
Yeah, because I wanted to, it was dance and acting. Both of them were my passion. And I was studying ballet from the age of 6 to like 12, to 12 and a half. And then an accident, a car accident stopped that path.
Okay.
And then I was fully concentrating only on the acting.
Yeah. And then apparently you were on a trip to Dubai where you saw, you were on a trip to Dubai, and
Yeah.
that's where you, yeah. Could you tell us about that bit? Yeah.
I was on holiday. I had my stage debut in Germany. I just finished a stint on theater there, and I shifted. I had a holiday in Dubai, and I saw an ad where a director was looking to play a friend of the main lead. It was a Bollywood movie, but completely shot in Dubai.
Okay.
And through this project that I did, it's called Destined Hearts, and it's available on an online platform now. Unfortunately, not in India. I don't know. Otherwise, you can see it on Amazon and other platforms. But through that, I met all the other amazing people, and I was sliding into the whole thing. And then people were telling me, "Why don't you come?" Ajay Sinha invited me. "Why don't you come on holiday to India and experience it?" And yeah, I said, "Of course. Who doesn't want to come on a holiday and stay with a family? You know, that is a different way of just being a tourist or being with a family. It's very nice."
Yeah.
So
that was in
came
2005,
here.
was it?
Yeah,
That was in
2004. I was
2000.
here the first time.
Yeah.
On my birthday, actually, 26 September,
Yeah.
I celebrated here.
Yeah.
And उसके बाद उसका offer आया, अजय सिन्हा का offer आया for अस्तित्व एक प्रेम कहानी in December that year. And then immediately in Ghana started shooting in England and in Mumbai.
Yeah. What is it about India that fascinated you, that you wanted to settle down in India?
I think fascination was immediately that I felt so much at home. Like I never felt that I'm in a different country. I lived abroad. I lived in Taiwan and I lived in South Korea and other countries and in other places in Germany. And usually there's always a little bit of a strange period. And here I was sliding into the whole thing. And it was luck, a lot of luck, a lot of open doors that immediately happened because in 2005, I started the lessons. उसी टाइम मैंने शुरू की ये हिंदी की बात हिंदी की lessons ली. And then 2006 honeymoon travels happened and Balaji came into my life. And I met my husband. Like now he's my husband.
So how were you attracted to? Yeah, how were you attracted to him? What was it? What were the qualities? Yeah.
The warmth of the people. I think I know a lot of people say that, but I don't usually when you go, I met amazing people in South Korea and in Taiwan. That's besides the point. But the openness of this country is something different. Like I lived also in what is now ex-Yugoslavia and Serbia, and people warm up gradually. But here it is like immediately, you know, you don't.
You know, I'll tell you, Suzanne. See, you know, when I was abroad, I studied most of my life abroad. I was in Baghdad, in Iraq, and later I was also in Dubai for a long time. But as you say, for me, freedom came only when I returned to India, because I felt I didn't have to look behind and watch, if someone's watching, or that sort of freedom that you can't explain. It's like the moment you touch Indian soil, there's another feeling,
It's a different vibe.
And you can be yourself. You don't need to wear a mask, So I found that most appealing. A lot of the Indians return to India just for that. They go, they make their money, and they come back. And when they come back, the feeling is so beautiful.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I had that feeling even though I wasn't born here and it was my first time coming here. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember how the plane was making a turn
Mm.
before it flies into Mumbai airport, and the light was sparkling, the sun was sparkling and slightly setting, and it was all looking like gold. And this thought popped in my mind, my life will change here. And to this day, I don't know why that happened and from where this came, but it became true. Yeah.
So
I didn't
somewhere you
know it
feel
will
that
be like that, but
destiny, yeah, destiny
yeah,
brought you here.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. So what were the see you were when you were introduced to the film industry, how was it compared to what it was back home?
As I was never introduced in the film industry in Germany, I studied acting, went directly on stage and did theater, and from there I ended up here. So I'm just like,
Okay. So what
I
was your
immediately
experience? Yeah.
came
What was your
here, and
experience? Yeah. Yeah.
I had a lot of people tell me a lot of different things. They said, if you do TV, you will not be able to do movies later. That didn't happen. Somebody told me, if you do TV, this will be the only time you do TV. Astitva Ek Raha, Ek Prem Kahani will be your only show. Uske baad kuch hone wala nahi, because there are no characters for foreigners in India. And just the opposite happened. I think I have just come at a time when people wanted these characters because of the exposure and Indians traveling and falling in love abroad. So the whole Firangi Bahu, Abi Firangi Saas is not such a foreign concept. And it's also, it makes for interesting TV and it makes for interesting movies as well.
Yeah. In the serial that you played, the Queen, can you just explain? I mean, give us some anecdotes about when you acted in the serial where you came as a queen
Mm,
in Ashoka. Yeah.
Ashok. Ashok was overwhelming.
Mm.
Ashok is one of the, gave me most prominence. I love that character, but it was my first negative character. What you have to adjust in the acting. It was the first time ऐसी संस्कृतized हिंदी मैंने कभी नहीं सुना, कभी नहीं समझ आया. I was just like, क्या हो रहा है, ये कौन से शब्दों हैं, मैं कैसे इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं. So my husband took leave from his own projects just to be with me on the set. वो 2 साल के लिए सब रुक गया मेरे लिए, और हम दोनों के लिए. Actually, it became our pet project.
Okay.
So because TV में ऐसी बहुत दबाव है, and TV में बहुत बहुत जल्दी script आते हैं सुबह सुबह. गरम script, you call it a hot script because it comes out of the printer.
Yeah.
Like they write it and it comes to you, and then you have to immediately like learn it. And because it was such heavy Hindi, my husband helped me. He wrote it down in a different kind of Roman. Like if it was a long E matra, it was EE. He wrote a double E, or R, a double R. So I used to know how to pronounce it. If it was a T, tum, then he was underlining it. So we had all these little tricks. And then he was taping the whole thing on WhatsApp as well. So I used to have this book in front of me and my headset to listen to his voice. And that's how I was coming on the set and going like, and everybody was like, ha, PhD in Hindi. I said, ha. It took
You know,
6 months
I
to
know,
settle
yeah,
down.
I know that you played the role very well because my mother said, "Oh, she's really evil."
Yeah. And I have to thank a little bit I have to give credit to my director, because I was
Yeah.
used to play the Bahu. So I was like looking like this and everything. And he said, tilt your head down,
Yeah.
and then look up. So that is
Yeah.
I later learned that it's like a sociopath trait as
Okay.
well. Like there are
Okay.
these amazing body language videos
Yeah.
online, and they actually do this. When somebody, you look down, you look towards the camera, you automatically look evil.
Yeah.
And a couple of things, they became my trademark, even though it was just by accidents, because I tried to be very precise with the pronunciation. So I was saying Charnak here. So I was like stretching the names, Ashok. So I was like stretching everything. So that became the trademark later.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, see, do you ever feel that, see, the tendency in Bollywood is to stereotype people? So if you're a villain, you will remain a villain all your life. If you're a wife, you'll remain a wife all your life. So, did you ever fall into that trap?
And fortunately for me, it's always been like this, that I get completely unexpected characters. Like, I have 2 web series coming up for shooting this month. If nothing changes, it got delayed because of COVID and everything. So I'm lucky because, again, it's something completely different. Negative characters, I have done only 1 up to now. Everything else was good-hearted people maybe trapped a little bit, or real life stories like in CID and or Crime Patrol. I think maybe because of the speciality of me, the way I look, the Hindi में बात कर सकती हूँ, थोड़ा मराठी भी आती है. So I have a lot of things going for me. So I get really nice characters, substantial characters, important ones. So
One of
I
our
never
viewers,
find them typecasting. It's always something different.
yeah, one of our viewers, Jasna, is speaking to you in German.
Yeah, guten Tag.
Yeah.
Actually, guten Abend. Yeah, guten Abend. Somebody else wrote guten Tag. I just saw that.
Yeah. And everybody finds you very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's the
Tell me
bindi.
something. I find it very strange that, see, you learned the Lavani, which is
Yeah.
a very difficult dance. And I mean, it's the most beautiful Marathi form of dance. But how did you learn that?
Okay, this is the story of Nagesh Bhosle, whom I worked with in Astitva.
Yeah.
We met a couple of times, and I think 2006, he called me and he said, "Tum yes bolo." I said, huh? How can I just say yes? Then he has, yes, you have to say yes. I said, okay, yes. Oh, you're in my movie and you're doing Launi.
Uh,
And I looked at Akhil, I was like, Launi? What's Launi? And Akhil, I don't know. Because Akhil has been here for a long time in Mumbai, but that was something that bypassed him somehow because it's a Maharashtrian folk dance, and as an actor, he was never exposed to it. So the whole Marathi journey started there, and I immediately fell in love with it. And then
the
uske
music
baad
is so beautiful.
I did a
Yes.
movie, a Bollywood movie, a love story, and there was no Launi in it, but the director was Marathi. He showed it to Ramesh Dio Productions, who picked me up for the Launi reality show that I did. So
Yeah.
I came up to the semifinals, what was a big surprise for me and maybe some other people as well. And the most difficult thing is that as a belly dancer, you're used to like pointing
stand
your
on your
toes,
toes.
and this is like ta-ta, 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 ta-ta.
Flat.
So
Yes.
if you see, I still have this that I pull my foot up and then bring it down. I don't stay like this. I keep on
Okay.
doing this. So that's why it looks a little bit like I'm giving that Western touch to it. But I love it. And I always wanted to know, I always asked about the meaning. I don't do anything if I don't understand what is the meaning. So when I was doing the dance show, first they had to translate it and explain the sentences to me. And then by sentence, they were doing the dance movements because you are telling a story. Like there is Nashikatsa. There is the story about Nashik and Launi and the grapes from Nashik, the wine story. So the girl is talking about her journey and about, if you know what you're dancing, if you know the meaning behind it, then it's also easy to lip sync and dance to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, see, in Bollywood or in the film industry, the casting couch is a very important aspect. And many actresses have spoken about it, that without that, you normally don't get roles in movies. Have you ever faced that?
Oh God, now I messed up my hair. No. I don't know why that never happened, but maybe I'm not giving out. Like I really don't know why. I've been here since 2005, and I've done so many projects, but nobody ever came to me and said this. So I know what happens. I find it horrible because I know of actresses who told me they only do TV because in TV there is no casting couch.
Yeah, they feel more safe.
I had those conversations where I said, "You're so stunning, you're so beautiful, you don't get a movie offer." हाँ, मिला, लेकिन ये उसकी वजह से मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगी. I was like, "Are yaar, so I maybe another kismat wali baat, something lucky, something that is in my karma. I don't know. It hasn't happened to me."
Yeah. Okay. So then you went into another character that was Sonia Gandhi's role in The Accidental Prime Minister. Can you tell us how you prepared for the role? Because many of the people see her in a very negative light. So, how did you prepare for that role?
Okay, as an actor, it is not your job to
Yeah,
judge a
differentiate.
character. It's your job to do it. So
Yeah.
I wanted to do it because nobody has ever played her. So that was the opportunity of a lifetime,
Yeah.
and
So, did
the
you get
preparation
any?
was.
Was there any interference from her?
Hmm?
Was there any interference from Sonia herself?
No, nothing. Uh, Absolutely not. No,
Okay.
nothing ever
So,
happened.
yeah.
No
So, how did you
contact, nothing.
prepare? Yeah. How did you prepare for the role?
The director had for every actor a folder with all the data, or basically it was more an email with the
Yeah.
pictures and the look and certain videos where they were saying, please, these are the videos that we want you to look at because we will recreate these scenes, like the Hindustan Summit with Veer Sanghvi. So
Yeah.
there were certain scenes where they didn't want to that you copy it, but that you take the inspiration. And that was actually the one footage where I took a lot of small little micro emotions and small little mannerisms that she has. I took from that Hindustan Summit, actually.
Okay. Did you read any
And
book about her?
prepare I was just watching the footage countless times. I don't know how many 100, 200, 300 times the same video again and again and again. And what happens is it goes
So
inside,
what
and
what were
this
yeah? So what were certain mannerisms? If you could just tell us.
looking at the watch inside out.
Yeah.
Like the watch is inside, and she looks at it like this, and the way she looks over her glasses, and if she's irritated and she wants to leave a situation, there's a slight twitch on one side of
Okay.
the mouth. These are small, small
Yeah.
little things
Some
that I
of
was
the
able to
yeah
pick.
yeah some of the things. Yes. Very very
Because there's no
interesting.
private footage, except a
Yeah.
couple of interviews are there, but basically everything what is there is in the open domain. You don't see a lot
Yeah.
of private
Because see,
footage.
basically, Sonia Gandhi never gave speeches. She's
Yeah,
not a person who's very comfortable with speeches. So,
yeah.
and even if it's written, she takes a lot of time to read it, and she writes it in English. If it's a Hindi script, she'll write it
Yeah,
in English and then read it.
I tend to do that still. I'm practicing every day to read in Devanagari, but I should have done it Shuruvat se. It would have
Yeah.
helped me more, but it was overwhelming. You are flung into a daily TV show and you have to
Yeah.
speak in Hindi, and then
Yeah.
the script was coming in Roman.
Yeah.
So I got to know about Devanagari later, actually, because I was so overwhelmed by 12, 14, 16-hour shoot and wearing sari and speaking and having co-actors and different food and different climates. So it was just like, ah. But then if you want to pronounce a word correctly, it's better if you can read it in Devanagari. It will help
Yes.
you. Because you don't know if
Also,
something is ra. Yeah, you
yeah.
don't know if it's ra.
Hmm.
So if there, because there is no, in Roman, they don't put a dot under the r. So
What was the kind of schedule that you had and when you were in television?
every show is different. Like Ashok was, we basically shifted to Karjat because you can't do up down. It's
Yeah.
75 kilometers, and then driving all the way to out there. It is, and then you have long hours. So basically, we were living there for months at a time, just coming here once in a while home. And Balaji was what it was at that time. Now it's not like that anymore, but it used to be that crazy thing where you reached at 7 in the
You're
morning.
talking about
You're there
Ekta
the
Kapoor?
whole day.
Ekta
Hmm?
Kapoor's Balaji? Ekta
Yeah,
Kapoor's Balaji?
yeah. There was this show, Kasauti Zindagi Ki, and I was the first Firangi Bahu.
Okay.
So I was in that show for
And
over
what
2
sort of
years.
a Bahu were you in that?
Good one.
Mm.
The introduction was all showing she's evil, but
Yeah.
what they did is introduce two characters at the same time, me and another girl. And she was looking like the sweet one, but she turned out to be the negative, and I was the sweet the negative looking one because of skin and outfit or
So
whatever
here,
not.
yeah, here let me ask you something, Suzanne.
Hmm.
See, were you ever shocked that the scripts by Balaji are not realistic? You know, they are either
Oh, no,
someone is really
no, sir.
bad or someone is really good. You know,
Yeah.
so the scripts are very unrealistic. Have you ever thought about that?
I find that in a lot of TV here. It's very rare that you get a character that is having colors of gray.
Yeah.
I think I had more of a backstory in a show
Hmm.
showing why Helena was the way she was, because
Yeah.
what happened to her, the way she was pushed to the side, and her son lost the throne, and she had all this backstory.
Yeah.
But at at that time when I was just shooting for Balaji, I was just trying to survive. I basically have to say it was something that took like took me on every level. It was a big challenge
Yeah.
because it was physically for me a big change. It was like the shooting conditions, the heat that is happening there. Yeah, there's AC, but still you can't have it on when the sound is on and you're shooting, so the AC is off, and if you're feeling hot, you're uncomfortable. The food was not suiting me. I can't eat spicy. So a lot of things where you're just trying to adjust to it. In hindsight, yes, definitely there was a lot of to be questioned, but I'm not the writer, not the maker of the show. I'm just executing. And for that, I love acting too much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Suzanne, see, there's been a lot ever since, I don't know whether you're following the case, Sushant Singh died. There has been
yeah.
a lot of scrutiny in Bollywood, and there has been a lot of people, public have been boycotting Bollywood because
Hmm.
they find that there is a lot of a drug nexus and a lot of other things happening, negative things happening in Bollywood. So, what have you heard about, and are you aware of it?
I heard what you hear. I see the news that you see because I'm more an Indian film and TV actress because I work also Marathi, Bengali, and now my first Malayalam movie. And a lot of people, I'm not in the party circuit. I was never invited to these things. So whatever I see is like you. I'm audience in that part. And
Yeah.
whatever products or projects I'm doing, I'm going, I'm shooting, I'm coming home. I'm never having this that I'm being pulled into something. Thank God.
So perhaps
I think it
that could
must
be
be
because
hard.
you have a husband who's in the
Yeah, but the
industry.
husband I had later, not in the
Yeah.
beginning. When I came
Okay.
here, I didn't have
Yes.
him. We
I
met
think you
later.
married him in 2009. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was so did he advise you about what kind of industry you're getting into?
Advise me. He helps me. He helped me with my Hindi, and we looked at projects.
Yeah.
But because he was doing a lot of TV, and he introduced me to like I was doing a show for Tony and Dia Singh, and then one great show I did was Paresh Rawal was part of the production house with Hemal Thakur together, and I had again luck, I guess. I had really good projects, and I've never seen anything like that. I
Yeah.
think the most I saw that somebody maybe had a drink in the evening.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay. One of the viewers is asking you. I'd like
hmm.
Suzanne to tell us if she ever indulged in drugs and money laundering business in Bollywood. If not, was she ever asked to do it?
No, no, guys, I'm living in a 1 BHK. I have a Alto that is from 2007, so no. Not that I'm saying that everybody who's having a better car or a better flat is into this kind of thing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
no. And I would never. This is so out of my comfort zone or whatever. I'm not even. I don't think I ever met anybody like that. My life
But
is my work. My life is
that is
yoga.
perhaps
My life
because,
is
yeah, perhaps
Sadhguru. So
because,
I'm not.
yeah, you're in the television industry, perhaps because of that. You're not that aware.
Yeah, I guess so. That's why.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
whatever characters I was doing in Bollywood movies, Honeymoon Travels was with Rima Kakti, and they needed somebody to play a foreign tourist. That was one of my first projects. And the other one was No Problem, what was also shot in South Africa with Anis Bazmi, what was also like a fun character to do. And nothing ever happened. Nothing that I was aware of. I come, I have my makeup done, or do my makeup, I shoot my scene, I go back, I have dinner, I go and sleep. Or I work out, whatever. So never happened to me. I know it's there. I know it's there worldwide. I'm pretty sure this is happening in other countries as well.
Yeah.
But it's
So this
shocking.
is being actually this is being exposed by everybody. I mean, media is exposing it now because there have been raids, and the complete industry is being shaken up because one of the top stars' son was also caught in a cruise, with drugs. So that's also going on. So tell us something, Suzanne. What are the good points of being in this industry, and what are the bad points of being in this industry?
I think I'm a special case because of my who I am and what I bring to a character. So I have a whole lot of very interesting and a lot of variation in characters. But on the other hand, I have big gaps in between. So I never know when a new character is coming, and usually when work comes and everything comes at once. So many a times I'm sitting for a long time looking for projects or projects that start and then suddenly stop for that. And what I don't like is you never know why something happens, like why a project is suddenly disappearing. Have they taken somebody else, or are they just taking a
Oh,
break
does
and the
that happen to
project is
you?
not happening? So
Oh, okay. They don't
this
explain
little
it to
thing
you.
about you never know why you don't do something.
Oh, they don't
That
explain it to you?
no, you never get
Okay.
a feedback. You just don't get the
Okay.
character, and then you find out later.
Okay.
Like I
Somebody
never
else.
knew why they didn't take me for this. What was it called? This about surrogacy. They took an American actress for that. They called me and then they disappeared. So I thought maybe the movie Pankaj Tripathi and
Okay.
this surrogacy movie.
Okay. Okay.
So there was an American girl in it, and they came to me and talked to me, and I said, "Yeah, I would be interested." And then they disappeared. I thought the movie's gone. Now the movie came out. I was like, "Huh."
Yeah, I think a lot of the actresses and actors have spoken about that, not being informed when there has been a change of role.
And it happens on every level. I mean, a lot of like big stars, they also get replaced. Suddenly they see the project that they had signed with somebody else is being associated with it, and they were like, what happened? So you need a good balance in yourself. You need a good platform. You need a good feeling about who you are and where you're going in life.
Yeah.
So, and I think yoga is giving me that. So that's one of the plus points, that you feel like more at ease and you can take these things more in your stride.
Yeah. So when you look at professionalism, how professional is the industry as per your?
Uh, I had good cases. I had like, if you mean people being on time, the way
Yeah.
the projects are being run, have big quality in front of the camera, great camera people. I've worked with so many amazing people here, and professionalism, definitely. Everybody brings always their 150% to the set because you need to. Nobody's ever slacking off or doing half a job because you just can't, you don't want to. There's this kind of a family feeling as well, especially in a set like a show where we were together for 2 years, where the unit and everybody on that unit, and even the chai wala who brings you your chai, and everybody is important. Everybody is
Were
making
you
this
paid on
project
time?
happen.
Yeah. Were you paid
Huh?
on time? Were you paid
Yeah,
on
of
time?
course. Yeah, of
Because
course.
we've heard very ugly stories about youngsters coming from remote
Yeah.
villages and who have not been paid for 3 months, and then they wait, and even if the money is given, it's given in installments, and we are
Yeah,
talking
you
about
have
the
to be
same banner.
careful.
Yeah,
You
same
have to be
banner that you're
careful. What
working.
I did immediately is I became a member of the SINTA, Senior
Yeah.
Artist Association, and I think I can
Okay.
highly recommend that to anybody. If you come and you know in the industry, you should approach them and see what are the requirements to become a member, because that gives you a certain protection and help. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're part of an association that looks after their people, and they will fight for your case. So
Yeah.
if you ever have a problem with money, I know of people where they got help. But it can happen. You can, like, what I always find a little dicey are coordinators. not casting agents, not
Yeah.
casting houses, not people who have a name, but these coordinators who just flip around and do something, little things here and there. And they want a cut from you, and they want a cut from the production house. So if they want a cut from you, it's already dicey. It
Yeah.
already looks like, why would you want a cut from the actor? That doesn't seem to be right. You should only take from the production house.
Yeah. One of the viewers, Arinya, is asking you, can Suzanne tell us about law on druggists and peddlers in Germany?
I would like to read that up, but I think it's like everywhere. It's really tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough law.
Yeah. Because, the
Because
law.
drugs can run havoc in your life. I think they can just ruin you completely. A distant relative of ours, she got caught in this whole trap, and she passed away a couple of years ago because of it. And I find this is harrowing. I find it horrible for the family, horrible for her children, horrible for the parents, somebody who is so intelligent. And a lot of times I hear it's intelligent people who get trapped in it. People who think too much, who don't know how to handle their own intelligence, and then it turns against them. And they turn to drugs to, I don't know, stop thinking. Because why are you doing it? Why can't you get high from dancing or from laughing or from being with your friends? Why do you need to take that course?
See,
I
actually,
think that
that
is
is
when
what.
intelligence turns against yourself.
Yeah, that's what Sanatana Dharma teaches us, that we can go into meditation or dancing, so many things. You don't need to, you don't need drugs to go into a euphoria. There's a
No.
lady called Sunita. She's asking, is there nepotism in TV industry?
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe. I think it's more a matter of being more aware of what's going on or connected. Like if the mother is an actor or the father is an actor and the child is being brought onto the set and becomes a teenager, or a teenager comes on the set and they need a character, they will look at that person because it's sitting there. I think it's just something that tends to just automatically happen. So I don't know if it is like on purpose or to push other people out. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just sometimes a matter of we saw and we liked, and that's why that person got cast.
Yeah. Do they give you a special treatment because you're not from India?
No.
You're a guest.
I had to fight too hard in the beginning to make a name for myself. No, because I have seen some of the cases where foreigners were being pushed, like 10, 15 people in one makeup room, just sitting on top of each other. The people who were background, junior artists, high school scene, or something like that. So no.
Yeah.
I think it was, I had that in the beginning, that I had to really say, no, wait, I'm an actor. I studied this, I learned this. So no.
Okay, somebody's saying that, Suzanne, you're a lovely person. However, I feel like you're being careful with how and the way you answer the questions that are directed about Bollywood.
Yeah, sure. I haven't said anything about it. I'm not really a part of it, so I can't really say anything about it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, getting back to your acting. You say that you met your husband and you got married. So, did you consciously decide to settle down in India?
There was never a moment where I said, okay, now I just want to be here. I think it just happened because everything felt right or feels right, the way it is moving, the way the projects were coming or the projects are coming, the way our life is panning out here. And now I don't see myself going back for a project maybe, but shifting back would be very difficult because I would have to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that I'm willing to give up what I have here, because everything I have achieved up to now is given by India.
Yeah.
Gifted by India. So
when you're not when you're not working? What is it that you do to
I
keep
read a
relaxed?
lot. I read a lot. I do my yoga. I mean, I can do a little bit more yoga and meditation when I'm not shooting. When I'm shooting, it becomes a little less. And my husband and I, we love to binge watch TV shows. So at the moment, we started with this very innocent looking show called Heartland, what is on cowboys and horses. And we said, how is this possible? This show has been running for 15 years. And we have reached season 13. And I really don't know how this happened. When did we watch so many episodes? So we like to binge watch TV and discuss, if an acting is very nice or we like a scene and then we go back and we look at it a second time, or we discuss actors. Or I like looking, if I see somebody who's very talented and I've never heard of them and they're like from Canada, and I have a look, oh, are they doing anything now? Sometimes you see somebody who's looking very promising and you see they don't have any other projects and you're asking yourself, what happened there? So playing around with these things. And last year I started cooking. I learned how to cook. So we're doing we also have a baby YouTube channel compared to yours, where we make our own little fun skits and cooking videos, and some acting videos are there and some interviews of mine. So
what is the kind of cuisine that you like? What kind of food do you like?
We mix and match. I basically bring my little bit of what I know. Like I introduced Akhil to zucchini, and besides green shimla mirchi, there is like a red one, or mushrooms he's very fond of. And he got me into the whole Loki, dal khitri, karela. So we're mixing. Whoever is in the kitchen is the boss that day.
Yeah. So what are the things that you have learned from India that have actually changed you? You would have evolved from the time you came and now the kind of person you are. What are the things, what has India contributed in that?
Patience, learning how to sit and wait, and just not being so precise, and being a little bit more relaxed in your approach. And the most I took from Sadhguru's teaching from last year, because we were in lockdown and I had the option to go crazy because of I couldn't go to be with my parents. My mom needed me, and this was going on, and lockdown and COVID, and the world comes to an end, blah, 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 blah. So I just went in the other direction and did the inner engineering course. In is the only way out. So that helped me. And that was a big push in a completely different direction of thinking and living and approaching life. Who's writing Apfelkuchen? This is so unfair. Don't make me hungry, please. Oh, he's writing apple tart.
I think in fact she's mentioned something else.
How do you know that's my favorite? Vishal, don't do this to me.
Vishali.
Acha, he's throwing all the words at me now. It's Knödel.
Yeah,
okay,
she's
that's
a lady.
Dumpling.
Vishali.
I don't know how to do dumplings. In Germany, they come ready-made. In Germany, they come ready-made, the Knödel, the dumpling. They come in these plastic evaporated boxes where you just put them in the hot water in the plastic, and then you boil them, and after 10 minutes you take them out, cut it open, and the dumpling is on your plate.
Yeah. Fast food. Like it's a traditional food in
but it's healthy. It's a nice thing to have.
Yeah. So what are the words that you'd like to tell our viewers, as in a bit of your philosophy that can help our viewers if they're listening to you, how you have taken life, your journey?
Again, I'm going to quote Sadhguru, but it is working amazingly. Fix yourself and everything else around you will fall into place. You have one responsibility in your life. Take care of this one.
Yeah.
Because the world around you will never behave the way you want it to behave. It will always do something else. Your husband will do something. Your children will do something. Everybody is doing their own thing. The only thing that you have control over and you can do something about is this here. So keep this happy, keep this blissful, and everything will just move on its own.
So beautiful. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Lovely chatting with you. and lovely little beads of knowledge as well for our viewers. And I wish
Second-hand
you
knowledge just given to me.
wish you a lot of success as well in your career.
Thank you. Same to you.
And good night. Good night.
Okay. Namaste.
Bye.